What's up, guys? This is Carmine from Cartridge Blast Gamers. I'm here again with John.
Hey, guys.
What we're going to do today is actually, since there is an actual Dragon Ball Super episode this week, we're going to actually go back and look at our 5 favorite moments from the series so far, and then kind of look into the future and what some of our hopes and dreams might be. So, John, looking at the entire series so far, and I kind of want to avoid looking at pretty much the arcs of Frieza Resurrection and Battle of the Gods, because as we both know, when we first got introduced to those story arcs, they were actually already Dragon Ball Z movies.
Yeah.
So I just want to look at what Super has added. So let's not look at Super Saiyan God transformation or Super Saiyan Blue as far as like the high points, because obviously technically if you look at it, that was part of those movies and those story arcs.
Right, so anything shown in the Z movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't count.
And we want to kind of look at what Super has brought to us.
Okay.
And those moments and see what some of those favorite or high points are.
Right. And actually, speaking of that movie, I know things that weren't in the Z.
Yeah.
I think the best, one of the top runs for me was the Captain Ginyu.
Yes.
I like that they brought him back because he never really... he kind of got the short end of the stick in the series.
He's just a frog for most of the series.
And then he just kind of hops away and does his thing. But it was nice to actually give him a conclusion.
Yeah.
So I thought that was neat that they brought him back. I enjoyed that.
And again, I think it's just been kind of what Super has been throughout most of the series, is just a lot of fanfare.
Yeah.
And it was just a nice little addition to have him come back for a short period of time.
Yep.
Regardless, but it was really awesome to see that they kind of wrapped up his story or his
absolutely.
character arc in a nice
I enjoyed that a lot.
And they didn't have to do that. Like, I don't think anybody would have really gone bananas. Like, oh my God, where's Captain Ginyu?
Yeah.
Everybody knows he's still alive. Why isn't he here?
There's probably that one fan out there that's like, where's Captain Ginyu? He's just gonna pop out of nowhere and be like, change now, and then, yeah,
exactly. So that's our number one. Looking at, and I think when we both saw this next particular part, we both kind of were like, thank God, and just the amount of epicness that it was.
Yeah.
Was probably something similar to what I haven't really felt since, like, Goku turned Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah, something awesome.
But looking at, like, the return of Kaioken in the 2-universe tournament.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Absolutely. I think every fan out there really thought that was something beyond awesome.
Yeah,
when they saw it, because it was, at that point the series kind of was just doing its thing. It just got over doing the 2 movies that we've seen before.
Yeah, that's when we kind of started getting into new territory.
Yeah,
based on the story arc
and a lot of the fights in the multiverse, or I would say the 2 universes, the universe tournament, but. It was kind of quick. It wasn't like Z where they were dragging out one fight for 2 episodes. It was kind of just like bang, bang, boom. Mm-hmm. And then, like, this fight comes up and you didn't expect too much out of it. And then all of a sudden, bam! He turns Kaioken. The music starts blaring.
Yep.
He's kicking ass. Chills are going. It's amazing. It was good stuff. It was something that the series needed, that I feel Z... in almost every saga had a moment like that.
That moment, yeah.
So it was nice to finally get that in Super.
Yeah, I think if I was to look at everything, we're talking about our top 5 today, but I think that would be my number 1.
Yes.
Number 1 overall, best moment of Super
for me,
so far.
To me, that was... And it was unexpected. It was just like, out of nowhere, just like, boom! And you're like, okay, there it is.
Yeah, and it was one of the few things they actually explained the reason of why he brought it back. And,
right.
And it was because of the Super Saiyan Blue transformation that he was actually able to sustain it for that long.
Yep.
And, they explained that, but then obviously there's repercussions to that moment where, he loses his ability to control his powers and stuff like that, which I guess they kind of have to keep him in check in some situation. But I thought that was probably the best moment for me out of everything that we saw on Super.
Yeah.
But looking at kind of as we go through the new story arcs, future Trunks returning.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome. There was a lot of build up. There was rumors, little whimpers, and then all of a sudden it became true. And I think there was a lot of hype around it. And as a whole, I thought it was great, and I loved that Future Trunks came back, and because during the Boo saga, they never really mention him at all. They just, it's just, he did it.
Because you have Kid Trunks.
Yeah, you have Kid Trunks, and they just kind of do their thing without mentioning everything, and everyone was kind of wondering what happened to Trunks during Boo
Saga, yeah.
Because you figure
they would have happened.
Somewhere down the line it would have happened. So it's nice to finally get a closure on that, and it was cool to see him. And I mean, he pulled off some crazy, unimaginable things.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the other part of that is Trunks returning is that they made him a suitable character in the fight with Black.
Yeah,
I mean, he was there right up to the end with Goku and Vegeta fighting Black.
Right.
He was relevant. He was powerful with what is assumed to be, if you believe in what the trading cards are saying, the Super Saiyan Rage form.
Yeah, there's the new form. They finally gave a name to it outside the series, but yeah. It's technically Super Saiyan Rage.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I mean, like I said, we assume that when Vegeta goes crazy,
that's what it is.
When he's fighting Beerus, I'm assuming that is kind of spawned from that.
Right.
But who knows? Maybe we'll get some more information. Maybe not. But overall, like I said, Trunks returning was a big fanfare move, and making him relevant was even more so.
Yeah.
Having him be right up there with Vegeta and Goku. They were all struggling at that in that fight, and it was just awesome.
It was good to see. It was a good, different change of pace. It wasn't just he comes to the future, gets the help, and then they beat him. And thinking of another top that leading into it is Black himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's one of our top things too. Is that Black was actually a threat. Like
yeah, I mean, it's like all right, Goku comes up and beats every single enemy that ever becomes a threat because of how powerful he is, and how he continues to become more powerful. How do you go and counteract that? And the best thing that they probably could have done, they did, was make Goku an actual enemy.
Yeah. Like who could we put in front of Goku that's gonna be, after all these years, after all training, a challenge?
Yeah.
So they put up his own body, pretty much. With a god's mentality, a psycho god.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it was probably one of the few characters where you kind of felt, at least in any of the series, I feel like Black didn't share Goku's willingness to keep giving them chances and become stronger and see how far they can go. He was there. He was going to beat you if he could beat you.
Yeah,
and that was completely different from what Goku was, and I think that's why it was such a hard fight for not only Vegeta but Goku, Trunks. Mm-hmm. Trunks is probably the only one that we've seen in the entire series as a saying that's like, no, if we're gonna, if I'm fighting you, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to actually beat you. Because he doesn't share that sane mentality of, oh, we have to be on equal standards. We're gonna give each other a chance to power up. This, that, and the other thing.
Because he with his experience, he's known tragedy for his whole life.
Yeah, for his entire life is tragedy. Yeah, he doesn't take risks or chances if he doesn't have to.
He's just like bam.
Yeah.
So, and then sticking to that arc and saga, I mean they did bring a lot of cool stuff in that saga.
That saga had a lot.
Because it was technically its first. I mean, the tournament was one saga, which was technically the first Super Saga. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you look at the story arcs of the movies.
Yeah, and then this was another arc, so it was very different from what we've seen in Z or anything else before.
A lot of fanfare too.
But the one character that we were glad to see return.
Yeah.
It's like, again, with Future Trunks, it was whimpered as rumor, and then we knew it was going to happen. Yeah. But that's something that turned out to be awesome as well.
Yeah, which is, obviously, we're talking about Vegito. The return of Vegito.
Mm-hmm.
Really exciting when we did find out that was going to be it. That was going to be a thing where they were going to, fuse up and see Vegito again. The entire episode, it was just an episode of Vegito for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
There was a little bit of stuff towards the end with Trunks and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I thought it was still kind of short-lived.
It was. Super does the opposite of Z. Z, you can have 5 minutes last 5 episodes. Yeah. This is kind of stuck in a real-time situation where it's like, okay, bam, go fuse. You have 30 minutes, actual minutes. So, and then it ended up being shorter.
Well, it's supposed to be an hour.
An hour, right?
Yeah,
but it ended up being
shorter because the amount of power output that they were supposed.
Right.
They were using all the power of the earrings.
Right. They just made up rules, though.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. It was just like, oh no, you're actually not stuck together forever.
That only happens with Supreme Kais for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess that means if a mere mortal got a hold of their rings.
But Kibito wasn't a Kai, and they had to wish him separately. But that's another thing. Let's not go.
Yeah. I was going to say it's kind of a fail-safe if a mortal got a hold of him.
Yeah, I guess.
And try to become super
but I guess
strong.
maybe if any Kai is part of the fusion, then maybe...
Yeah, I think
permanent.
it was just for the Kais and they fused into a better Kai.
But yeah, I mean, I thought, like I said, Vegito coming back, awesome. And similar character.
Yeah, and it was probably one of the best animations we've seen in the entire series.
Oh, yeah.
Z, Dragon Ball, everything.
Bar none.
Yeah.
Yeah, just...
It was quality up there with the movies of the 90s when they were doing that. And it was its own art style, too.
Yeah, it was quick, it was snappy, it was... they really seemed to like spare no expense with it.
Yeah.
I thought overall, it's probably the best episode that they did with animation. Even the fights, thought it was great. That was like the real big high point, I think, of the series.
Yeah.
Was that episode?
It definitely was. It was awesome, and it shows how much of a threat Black and Zamasu were, since they had the fuse. Like Goku and Vegeta kind of both agreed never to have to do it again.
Yeah.
They were just try to be stronger than the opponent themselves without having to resort to that. So for them to, or especially Vegeta to fuse again, you knew it was crazy.
Yeah,
you knew the situation was
times
dire.
were tough.
Yeah. So, but that was our top, I guess, moments of Super so far.
Yeah, top five moments of Super so far.
Leading into the future of what's coming next.
Yeah.
I mean, now Super's also going to get dubbed by Funimation, or it is dubbed by Funimation. So we have that to look forward to.
Or not look forward to.
And, where the series is going to go from here on.
Yeah. I think there's some pros and cons to the overall dubbing of Dragon Ball with Funimation.
Yes.
We talked about it, off mic before, but it's the same with what happened with GT, same with what happened with Z. You lose some story elements, or you lose some, or you have issues with translation.
Right, different meanings for different things and sayings.
I kind of hope, where some of the dialogue, just from what we've seen of the English dub so far, there is a Vegito clip out there of that episode with the English dubs. We don't know if it's. I believe it's real.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's real.
I'm very kind of leaning towards not real.
Okay.
Because that, I granted they.
I know it's the voice actors.
I just feel like they wouldn't leak that at all. They haven't leaked. They leaked one picture once, a teaser, and they shut that down right away. That was the own actor's Instagram. They shut that picture down, or Twitch.
And it could, and maybe
even
if it is real, it could have been very early, and it may not have been the actual full dub.
Yeah,
they could have done edits or something else like that later. But the reason we're talking about it is because the dialogue from that particular scenario, was, I think, weaker than the actual Japanese dialogue.
Yeah, and it could happen in the series.
Yeah.
Funimation, they grew a lot.
Yeah.
When they first had Dragon Ball Z, till now they've grown and hiring better actors and things like that, and being more professional, better writers and things.
Yeah, translators, writers, and whatnot. And we talked about it before, where Dragon Ball Z Kai, I think, probably is the definitive edition of Z.
Yeah.
Not only just because of the way that they break it down into a smaller number of episodes, but also because how they explain things in Kai makes the most sense to me so far.
Right, and they're like you were saying, I think it took them 3 attempts to get Dragon Ball Z right.
Yeah.
They got it as close to the manga translations as possible. And see, when you're talking about GT, I thought that was the worst. See, my experience with Dragon Ball Z was I watched the show on Toonami when it first came out, and I got the movies transferred over from Japan with English subtitles. So when Funimation dubbed the movies, I thought they did a horrible job with them. They, like you said, they changed a lot of the sayings. They tried to be hip.
They tried to westernise
it. And it just didn't work. Same thing with GT. I watched GT with Japanese subtitle or English subtitles first, and then Funimation did their dub, and I thought they destroyed it.
Yeah,
they literally destroyed it with the music they chose, and also just the dialogue itself was just, and the actors they didn't nail the parts. I feel
for what GT was. Yeah. I think, though, on a positive outlook of what the English dub would be, I hope and I think some of the questions or some of the things that we kind of don't understand, maybe it is a translation thing for what what the English subtitles are.
Right.
But I'm hoping that with the dub that Funimation is doing, like, we actually get an explanation that, like, oh, this is... it's Super Saiyan Trunks Rage or Super Saiyan Rage Trunks or whatever the case may be.
Right, they might add something.
They might hopefully add an understanding, or even it just has to be a line. It just has to be like, oh, this is what Vegeta was when he fought Beerus. Like, he got the same kind of power jump when he fought Beerus. And it was the pure rage.
Right.
Like, it could be like one or two lines that do an explanation of that they can kind of weed into it. And I think that the kind of subtle or kind of lingering questions that we have watching the Japanese versions of the show, I don't know if that will fly with westernized viewers.
Yeah, and thinking of that point too, it's something that it's going to make or break depending on how they do it.
Yeah.
And looking back at different translation, I guess, crossovers, or I guess you would call it that. The one thing that I was thinking of with the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan Rage is also, with Black's Rose, Super Saiyan Rose, we have pretty much 3 different versions of Super going to come out now.
Yes,
we have the manga, the animation, and then the Funimation dub that's going to come out.
Yeah.
The manga is very different from what it sticks to some points, but it changes a lot of things, especially in the Black fight. There is no Super Saiyan Rose yet. He literally went normal Super Saiyan first while fighting Vegeta. So, that's something different. So a lot of things might get translated different. If there's no Super Saiyan Rose, which I think it's coming, but they might have, maybe the manga's going to tell it differently.
Okay.
Or even when Trunks goes Super Saiyan Rage, maybe they'll explain what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't know whether...
That's what I'm kind of hoping for. That's what I'm hoping, like, the bright side is to all of this, is that with the English subs, yes, the dialogue might be kind of lame.
And then you wonder where they're going to get it from. Are they going to get it directly from the animation script from Japan, or are they going to make their own, or are they going to try to adapt the manga? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that's kind of like the lingering questions I think that we have with them adding the dub.
Yeah.
Now, as far as other, hopes or fears, we have high hopes for the Universal arc.
Yeah.
The Universal Survival arc, obviously, and we talked about it.
There's a lot of high hopes, with the roster that they're showing.
Yeah. And I think my biggest high hope for that is, and I think that's everybody, just looking at the different fan pages and looking at different forums and blogs and stuff like that, like, we need to see Gohan come back in a big way.
We do, and we don't need him in these filler episodes that are going to have him in a movie or something.
They're great saying, man.
No, we want him back in his gi, kicking ass, breaking barriers.
Yes. Like
Gohan always has. And pretty much that's the biggest thing. And I think
that's I think if I had to put one thing that I hope for moving forward with the series, is that my hope is that we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna get Gohan to be relevant again, just as Trunks was relevant in his story arc.
Yes.
So
yeah, they gave time for Trunks to do his thing. I like to see Gohan do his thing. And is it going to be the same thing as Trunks with a Super Saiyan Rage type of thing, or is it going to be a whole new something that he does? Like, was Super Saiyan Rage form unique to Trunks, and will a new transformation be unique to Gohan?
Yeah.
So it's very
because Gohan has that unique training of what happened with him with Elder Kai, with him unlocking his potential, him being ultimate. So you don't know what further effects that might have as he gets stronger, or maybe as his energy changes.
Yeah, and looking at what Super has done with the show so far, honestly, I think I'm about only 65% like leaning towards something good's gonna happen with Gohan.
Yeah,
I would like to be 100% sure.
Yeah.
But with what they're doing, I mean, they could literally just have Gohan there, put him up against something ridiculous. Gohan could get his ass beat, and then Goku has to defeat that guy at the end or something like that.
Which I don't want to happen.
Yeah, but it seems like a formula that they could end up doing, or he's just about to enter the tournament, and then he gets a conference call or something stupid. You know, I feel like they're turning him into more of a, hey, remember Gohan?
Yeah.
Now he's a family man.
Yeah.
And then they'll just throw little itsy bitsy pieces of him training still with Piccolo just to keep him relevant.
Yeah, well, I hope we get more than that.
I do too.
Any other high hope going forward with the series?
I mean, honestly, it's just it's hard because we just came out of an awesome saga, a dark saga, where pretty much everyone dies. You know, in the end, they lost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For all intents and purposes, yeah.
And we just been getting these filler episodes. Some were fun, some were horrible, but it's just. And then we jump into a 2-episode teaser of Hit and Goku pretty much training, and that's all I'm gonna call it. It wasn't a fight; it was pretty much just training.
Yeah.
Which had some cool moments, horrible animation, slow parts, things like that. But in the end, that wasn't even really relevant because they're still gonna go to the tournament. Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna end up having these 2 Gohan episodes which deal with him being in a movie and like some stupid side thing that's probably not even gonna be relevant at all in any future episodes. So I don't know. Like, maybe they're just saving everything for this awesome tournament, but I don't know. Like, to me, I'm really not sure if we're gonna see something as awesome as the Black Saga, or we might just get a rehash of something that we've seen already.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
a good point. Like I said, I'm gonna stay positive. Hopefully we'll get some more moments like the Goku Kaioken, and hopefully some new transformations too. I feel like they're trying to stay away from some of those, like if we're gonna have more transformations with like Goku and Vegeta, like I feel like they're kind of trying to stay away from them so it doesn't become like a cliche.
Yeah.
And I think they're kind of really, right now they're probably kind of trying to figure out and deal with like, all right, what's next for them as much as what's next for some of the other characters. Like I said, they might get to the Universal Survival arc and Gohan could have a new transformation.
Yeah.
Maybe Piccolo sees another Namekian from another universe and he's ascended whatever he's doing.
Yeah.
And maybe there's another transformation that he can learn. So I have like all these different scenarios in my head, but unfortunately it's just going to be a little bit before we actually start seeing some movement towards what we think might be the end of Super. We don't know if they're going to continue it after the survival arc.
There's no confirmation of either side.
Yeah.
So I think people are saying that it's going to continue.
Wait and see.
Wait and see type thing. I mean, it's been doing very well. So
yes.
I think
there's a lot of hype out there. A lot of people are excited.
But then it goes to think too: is this something that, if it does go on, is it going to be rushed? Because you know what I mean. Because if you think of Z, it was supposed to stop at Frieza. Fans wanted more. Then it was going to stop at Cell with Gohan taking over.
Yeah.
They wanted more. So then we get the Buu Saga. I mean, each progressed nicely in Z, I think. But with Super being all over the place, with disappointments, awesome moments, different things, is it something that is going to be awesome? and something that fans want, or is it just going to be, oh, hey, you wanted more? Here you go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but anyway, guys, that was our top 5 and a little look into the future of what we...
Fears and hopes.
And hopes with different things. So, you know, this was a little video we wanted to do since there wasn't a super episode this week. But, guys, let us know what you think. Please like and subscribe as always. Comments down below. Send us a tweet if you want to. And, yeah, anything else you want to add?
Nope. Just looking forward.
All right, you want to take us out?
All right, guys. Well, that's it for John and me. That was Cartridge Blast Gamers. Just a look into the future and what some of our high hopes were for... our high points were for Dragon Ball Super.
And high hopes.
And high hopes. But, guys, we'll catch you later. Peace out.
Thanks for watching, guys.